Hey, what's up? Here's Yo and Cyrus. God connected us for you. To be honest with you, we never done that, but there are some testimonies and some prophecies we want to bring on the table because we truly believe that it's time for us, all of us, make right decisions how we want to live. Because we as sport guys, gym bros, we think in a different perspective towards the thing coming to us and happening to us in our lives, having that trauma and that bad experience. We just want to share it to show you that no matter how deep down you've been, there is always a way up.
There's always a way. There's always a way.
So, I don't know, maybe we should tell that there is, everybody speaks about the game, life is a game, it's a cinema, whatever. Yeah, it's a game. And the main rule here, take the responsibility and to make the right actions. Not to make anybody to feel down in the end of the day after interactions with you. And basically that's it. Don't do it hard. Primum non nocere from the Latin, right? And right now, game looks like shepherd and sheep.
Yes, it is.
So let's find the right way to sustain. Let's talk. How's it been?
How's things been? Ever since last 6 months is like interesting, but really interesting since I've turned 20. Since January 6th, I have everything in my life I've became aware of a lot more, and everything else has also just kind of crashed. But not in the sense, it's also choices of myself, choices of others, family, inner circle, and it's been dark.
Dark times.
It's been dark trying to be able to know that you're right in your way. You're realizing you're trying to share that with others, but you're not being heard. Trying to do that all alone. There's a lot of people out there who are all alone, like that can't do that. It's like having a voice, but every time you share that voice with someone that's like, for example, my inner circle would really be my father and maybe like 2 close friends, right? And to be honest, those are the 3 people I would talk about, like lay my hardship on them. They're there for me.
You want to teach, and this is a good example of the right way, because if we see imperfections in the people, not the human beings, but people, we care in a certain way, we're trying to improve them. And sometimes our relatives or close friends, they just looking towards their things in an aggressive way, which is not right, because you're doing that in a way to heal, not to make
more problems.
Yes.
More negativity. No. I'm allowing this out of myself to be able to understand that I am not what life has thrown at. Whatever life has thrown at me, or whatever mistakes I have made, or whatever I've been affected by, is not who I am. So for a long time, as much as I was fighting always to know myself and know that like that's not the case, I would still be battling with the same thoughts that like maybe I am like, not
the right person.
Maybe I'm not the right person. Maybe being called a failure, maybe I am a failure. That's why I would be so hard on myself, and that's probably another reason why I was holding myself back. We were just saying, but regarding it being enough. For me to explain this, I would have to start when I was like 17. I was just like, so when I was 17, that's when I really started to like seek personal development, seek myself, like seek just benefiting myself only. I started reading a book, great book. Don't believe everything you think.
Right on.
I would recommend everyone to read that book, because the only reason why I would recommend it, 90% of people, or like most people in this world, have a problem with being happy with themselves.
Yes.
Just themselves. And this book was able to bring that light out of me, like bring me back to the self where like improving myself, and I'm still happy with that.
Yes.
I don't need to be around these people to be happy. I don't need to take these things to be happy. I don't need to listen to this to be happy. I don't need to fulfill anything that's like temporary, basically, to keep me happy.
And add something towards it. And it's like in a relationship, we don't need to seek for a second part of heart. We should be one.
Right.
And one to motivate each and another. But in a way, the propaganda, society, the media, they made us thinking about the relationship and the nuclear families, how they look. It's never been working like that, because you just can't concentrate on the things that you consume. You need to think about the feelings of your relatives. But nowadays, people just can't express themselves because they have some blocks. I don't think that is the right way. If you're trying to be the right person towards your relatives, and you're trying to express yourself, and you see that your relatives just not able to do that, just keep trying, because in the end of the day, they will understand what you're talking about. It won't be like that forever.
No.
It won't be dark forever.
Be the light, you can't see it.
Sir.
And this is, This is something that's been super applicable to myself right in the past few weeks. Just kind of like dark. It's just day, like surviving each day and trying to survive each day and overcome that day and make sure that I can keep one foot in front of the other or just don't fall more. You know what I mean? And when I couldn't see it myself, I was still being put in situations to share, plant a seed in them or help them be better themselves. People basically.
This is a true Christian way.
Yeah. Be in situations where that apply. You'll have an opportunity to share from the heart and help somebody else, even when you're doing good to yourself, but you still see someone.
Yes, this is a sacrifice. This is what Jesus Christ, Yahusha, been doing to others. This is main idea that you need to be for others, to be there no matter what, to understand that your life is miserable without God and also without people you can care of. And consuming, taking everything in your own pocket, it's not the right way.
Yep.
You greed, but it's not bringing you to any state. It just keeps you on low vibration. It keeps you in the same cycle. Mm-hmm. You can create. You can be a philosopher. You just think where to make money, to put that thing, to get that yacht, to get that Urus, to get that girl. But there is no progress in it. You'll get it. And what do you feel? That's why a lot of billionaires, they feel so down because they don't have that spiritual connection with the universe. They just don't have it. That's why we're going through all that shit right now. Because people forgot that spirit is the only thing that defines us from animals.
Well said.
It's honest truth.
It's true. You just said something that I wanted to kind of talk about right there too. Fulfillment. Yeah, like you just said, all those things that you can get, it will temporarily fulfill you. That's why rich people are constantly, because they can keep affording that same temporary fulfillment over and over. You know, that's why they have to have that, the temporary fulfillment, to keep feeling something that they never had, instead of actually chasing something within themselves.
Exactly, because it all starts from you, from your consciousness.
Yeah.
Consciousness is God. This is what Jesus Christ once again been teaching, that no matter what, you need to be conscious, aware. In other way, it won't work, because there is no other way of being spiritually growing in this material world, but living in the spirit, living consciously. Another way, still consuming.
Still consume overconsumption, yeah. But I feel like there's a certain if we were to share, like, in the sense of how to gain that, you know, eternal fulfillment. Without God, we are not like that.
No, absolutely. Without God, I'm just Ivan. You're
just man. You know what I mean? You're just man. You want to just start from a baseline, seeking eternal peace and fulfillment in yourself, where these cars, drugs, girls, whatever fulfills you. You start by seeking stuff in yourself, by bettering yourself, bettering your habits, bettering your mindset, bettering your lifestyle, bettering your choices, bettering your priorities. When I'm speaking about this, I'm speaking for myself. Like, when I start to actually gain fulfillment in myself and actually grow and be happy every day, even though I don't have the humanly desires that I want, but I have everything that I need. And it was from realizing that if I wanted to get a better body, right, I gotta prioritize my recovery. Mm-hmm. I gotta prioritize my sleep. I gotta prioritize my food. Stress. And I gotta prioritize training. But you see how I listed training last and everything else. Those things matter more than just one thing is not gonna grow without everything else around it growing.
Yes, exactly. I mean? It's like a system where everything matters. Mm-hmm. So first of all, you need to realize that consistency in the whole of your life is the key. So when you're consistent, you're starting to add some new features towards the system that already work still. Look at us. We train a lot. We're consistent in that, and that brings us to a state where we're growing in consciousness.
We're aligned with ourselves.
Spiritually growing, because what else can do to be fulfilled? Right now, we're on a state where we want to teach, because the things we know now, they work for us. And we feel happy. That's the idea. I have a lot of anger in me. A lot. You just can't imagine. But what I can do with the things that destabilize in me, what I don't like, I just need to change the attitude towards them, because regardless, it won't be like that forever. Yes, of course, in my country, it's not. It's not like you think it is. It's the same people doing those not good things towards other people, and everything they want to do is to control, to manipulate, to suppress you, to gain some low vibrations from you. This is how it works. That's why we see a lot of things happening in a short period of time. That's why a lot of information in your social media that you don't need. So why you keeping yourself in that cycle of just sitting and being not in the mood, being angry on those people? What? Why? Put it down and do something for yourself. Go to gym, do self self-care, you will understand that nothing else matters but your balance and being conscious, being aware. Because when you're realizing that like those people, they making everything, the system works like that. Not for you. They work against you in a certain way to take money from you. Basically, right now we live by subscription. Everything is by subscription. We have in cars that garbage. 4-cylinder car is a garbage. I'm sorry. It just won't drive for 100,000 miles and be fine. No. 30,000, new Mercedes-Benz, knocks. The engine knocks. They now make a nice product to sustain. Make okay product, decent product to sell you the maintenance and you to buy another car 2 years later, like an iPhone. Mention that a lot of people, they going crazy before the drop of new iPhone. They staying in lines even if phone is not there. They making pre-order. Me personally, I saw people in Miami Beach Apple. Oh wow. The first day they dropped it, they started pre-orders. It was like thousands of people in there. Why? There is no progress in consuming. Do something for yourself. When you do something for yourself, you generate the right dopamine because you growing in your own consciousness. You starting to question things. You starting to explore yourself, you know? You'll get there. You'll understand what I'm talking about. Just do something for yourself and be happy.
Whatever comes to your head that aligns with who you are and it makes you happy and it also puts you a step forward and better yourself, that's what you should be doing. I've talked to someone this week who doesn't believe God's listening to him. I've talked to someone who believes that everything that he's trying to do, it goes against them. It's just all perception. And if you start to look at the things that you're doing for yourself and the environments you put yourself in, if it doesn't align with you, then there's other reasons. Like, how do I describe this?
If you in an environment that doesn't fit you, or you not fitting,
yes,
God will bring you to other environment.
Yes,
where you can grow in spirit, where you can grow physically,
right,
and you'll have people what's supposed to be next to you.
Right.
This is a God's working here. This is why a lot of people connected right now. This is why we're sitting here and talk. So if you feel that something is wrong with the people next to you, with the people who say that they care about you, like deep inside your instincts say, no, this is not what I need, relax. Pray for right things coming to your life. Be open for something new because everything is for us. God don't want us to suffer. It's us makes everything worse. It's us non-consciously making decisions and then we afraid to take responsibility and the problem starting there. So first of all, be conscious and responsible for the things you're saying, for the things you're feeling, and for actions you take. Because in the other way, you'll stay in those circles. You'll stay there. No matter what, don't watch anyone else, but what are you doing and what you bring into this world. It's very important. The energy you spread will make it happen.
You know, saying is be a light giver, not the king of darkness. You know, even if you're in the midst of a problem, you know, you have two choices. Am I going to reflect that onto other people, or am I going to do what I want people to do for me? That's your choice to make. Now, like you just said, the biggest gift that you can ever do is plant a seed in somebody, right? We connected with somebody recently. He's in a season of his life where I'm a season ahead, right? Like just in that chapter book. Like it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. But he wants to surround himself with people that are better than him or doing things more, like, you know, doing more than what he's already doing. And that's good. But it's not in a superior way, but just for him to be able to find the things that he wants to find himself. The problem this person was having, stress, if one thing doesn't go his way, everything falls in his day. You know, everything goes bad. Yeah. You know, always paranoid of something, what's coming, or what's happened, or someone's looking at he or she the wrong way, or whatever the case might be. The reason why a person like that might live in a season like that or live like that is because they don't know they're not grounded in who they are. They don't know themselves 100%. So now they're questioned by everything else that's happening around them, and now paranoid or fearful of what's happening. Yeah. But back to the original point, in the sense of the biggest thing you can do is help someone, is when I first talked to him about it, he was, you know, deep talks about just personal development, and I'm like that kind of like older bro, fortunately a chapter ahead, to the point where I can help him. 2 weeks later, I see him again. And he was like, man, like, I was right about a lot of things that I said, like me. And, now he wants to do more out of himself. He wants to implement these things. He wants to stop being less stressful on himself, less hard on himself. He's living that constant state of happiness, right? Not for you to believe the thoughts you believe. So I think the biggest thing you can ever do for someone that we lose sight of in this life is that helping somebody.
It's the only way, because if you're not capable to teach, so you're just not there.
We all have a purpose. We all have seeds that need to be watered. You know what I mean? Like, we all have something that's meant for us to.
It's called life mission. How you can get there to start realizing why you're here, what are you supposed to do. You just need to care about yourself, keep yourself clean, keep temple in purity. And then we grew in consciousness through gym. It's been a lot of trauma for me and for Cyrus, but no matter what, it haven't broke us. My parents having not really good relationship. My father is a narcissist. I always been abused, and the past 5 years of my life I've been abused, and I just tired of being abused, and I still want to care about that people that abuse me, because this is my family. That's why I started to care about myself, to do self-care. I do train every day, consistently. Every day, in the mornings, I'm waking up at 5 o'clock. I'm doing my routine every day. That brought me to a path where I see my way, what I need to do. I need to show on my own experience going through. I need to show it to you, so you will make the right changes in your head. Not somebody said, you will understand that. I'm not pushing, I'm just expressing, sharing my experience. So the Cyrus does. We're not pushing on you, it's totally your decision. You will come to our Father, to God, regardless. You will be there. You need to make right decisions in your head. You need to click the switch.
But God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called. And in the sense of like, what I'm trying to go with that is that me personally, throughout my life, up until I was like, throughout high school, and then like really till like I was like 17 when I started to do things for myself, I was always a follower.
Yeah, same thing.
Then God turned me into a leader.
Same thing. Because the things we've been questioning all our life is why everybody do that. Why they thinking about themselves. Why they want this and that. Why they have more. Why I don't need that. Why I'm not greed at all. I stopped to greed when I was 14. And I just watch people and I see the patterns that they having this, they having that, but still they're not happy. I started to pursue my own happiness. I was thinking that my happiness will be in a relationship or it will be in person. No, it's not. You need to be happy with your own. You need to realize that if you're not able, once again, teach why you want to be in that cycle of consuming. Because for me, it's boring. I'm super bored to consume. I'm super bored not to give. Because listen, to see that smile, that precious smile, to see the progress you made, it's the most beautiful thing to me. And I don't need anything. It's my perception of life.
Some things just matter more to others, like people think having all this money is gonna,
make you happy,
make them happy. And guess what? It'll make them happy. It will. Like, that's the truth. It will
temporary.
Make them happy for a while, yeah. But they're gonna have to go. They got to go along life realizing that something in their heart is just missing.
Yes.
There's something that they're missing.
Missing God.
Pretty much missing like God and what He wants for you. And this is why the generation we live on is such a spiritual, like it's even a bigger spiritual war right now because of all the information, access to information. Last year, there's been or a couple years ago, there's been a certain change in the way we live. There's certain energy along with everything, and there's the times we live in is where it is,
end times.
You're either good or you're bad. You know what I mean? But you have to figure out who that is right now. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because if you continue to go along another 20 years of the same things, you might unfortunately be stuck in a place
where you don't want to be, really.
And I truly believe this is why I don't like the term religion. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I don't like the term religion. It's not. There was a Bible created, and then everybody else just took those versions and made it into their own way and just separated everything. And that was not the whole point of Jesus is coming. The whole point. Well, at least from what I believe in, not what I read or what I've listened to or what someone else told me. What I just truly believe in is that God lives in a different era of time. Like, He sees all of time, beginning to end.
He always here.
Right? He's like Interstellar, for example, like outside. You know what I mean? Like seeing, like you can see everything. You know what I mean? From the beginning to end, kind of. He saw that whole thing, that the generation we live in now, the times we live in now, was gonna get to a point so bad where that if He didn't introduce Jesus Christ into this life, then our behaviors would not be safe. Like, we would not be safe. Like, we would not. So all you would have to do is simply drop your will, surrender yourself, surrender your manly desires, your manly wants, your manly thoughts, right? Whatever that is just you know, you surrender them to him and you align yourself with who you are, and then he will amplify that and guide you towards the exact calling you have. Now, this is not something that I've read or someone's brainwashed me. This is just something that I personally lived in and never grew up religiously. I didn't go to church. I wasn't reading the Bible. I just was on my knees one time in life, crying when no one else was there, and he pulled me up.
Same thing,
you know?
Same thing. For the past 7 years of my life, I was in moderate depression, so nobody was there to help me out. Because the things I've been consistently questioning in the churches in my country, in Russia, I saw something is wrong. And this is the thing that ADHD about. You feel the lies. You feel the pure truth. You feel it definitely. You definitely know what you don't need in your life. You definitely know what you want and need. And sometimes people like me with ADHD, they want this, they want that, they jumping around. But if you'll be consistent, you will see the path, and it will be the best journey you can ever imagine. I'm telling you, I'm out of my depression. In September, I finished with my depression. I had tics. I was ticking for about a year. Listen, I feel strong. I feel happy as much as it's possible comparing to what happened in around. And I feel I'm meant to do something for you, for people.
And I think the takeaway that I would say for what he just said, that we want you to take away from that, is that you don't have to have everything figured out. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be nothing that you think you have to be. You just have to realize about yourself and God and what he wants for you and what you want for yourself, and like who's the only person that can provide it for yourself and bring you out of that darkness. You know what I mean? So basically, it's okay to be broken, because if you weren't broken, then it would be harder for you to be pulled in. You know?
Yes, because when you receiving some situations in your life, the God gives you possibility to grow. And this is the thing. What is a judgment day? Judgment day is every day. You want to live by flesh or you want to live by spirit? You want to sacrifice yourself to death to live for people like Jesus Christ did? Or you want to be greedy motherfucker sitting and putting this, that, putting in your pockets? I don't think that people like that will sustain. Because why? Just why you guys doing that? Do something nice. It's cost you $0 to give a smile to help a granny on the street. It's cost you zero. But we forgetting about these small things. But remember me doing some good things towards people next time. Remember what you feel, how they watching you, what they feel. Try to imagine, feel some empathy to them, and this will bring you on a different level where you want to do more and more things like that. And this will produce real dopamine in your head. This is how it works. Because consuming is good, it's fun, loved it, but it's enough because I'm bored. I see no progress in that. And what I want to do in my life personally, I want to grow. Because staying on the same step of the ladder, I don't know, I want to get to the top.
Yeah, you want to be the best version. I think this is what I think.
Best version of myself, yes.
Because it's not about proving it. It's not about trying to be better than someone. It's just about never being in the situations that you were once in.
Yes. It's just,
and to help people.
Exactly. If you're capable to change your personality, yourself to a better state every day, at least on 0.5%, 1% we'll say, it's gonna be 365 in the end of the year.
That's enough. 1%.
It's enough.
1% is enough. Just have to believe that you can do it.
Yeah, and it's possible.
I believe you can do something. You can't just sit around and be complacent. You know, you have to
do small steps.
Small steps. At least give the energy, the effort to whatever you're trying to get better in, and then it will be reciprocated.
Okay, so you got an exercise as a homework. Take paper, take a pen, sit down and write 10 things you think that will help to be more balanced, or the things you want to do, you want to bring to people. It's like good things. Really you want to do with the spirit, not with your flesh. Like forget about yourself, forget about it, and think about what will be nice if I'll make it towards people. Put it on a paper. Keep it for yourself and start doing something. First of all, do self-care. Go to gym.
Be in the sun. Do something, do something that is natural and that's for you.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
That will bring you, like, when you're watching the sun, you feel happy a little. You automatically you're smiling.
And the reason it gets you tired is because it feeds your flesh. It gives you the It gives you the energy.
Okay, so it produces DMT in your brain because your metal starts to work. This is what everybody talks, but nobody proves, and I don't know why. Because it all starts from our head. In our head, you need to be aware. You need to be conscious. And right now, dude, you just don't have that much time. I know that 90% of people I'm meeting on my everyday path, they lost. I'm giving some prophecies to them because I don't need anything back. I just see the imperfection and what they're facing, they're struggling, and I just want to bring some peace to their heart, to their soul. Because in the other way, the desperation, it just puts you in apathy. Then you're going to be depressed, because depression is when you go against your soul hard. It's not bringing you anywhere. It just drains you. This is not something you really want to do. So, as I already said, just do self-care, do something natural, put your phone down, put it down. Because the psyops there, they just destabilizing you. You don't want to live on low vibration. You need something real. Do self-care. We're gonna prepare some videos with the trainings, what we personally do. We ready to share, and I'm ready to receive. This is really... The truth is known. It's on the surface. But the real question is, are you ready for it?
Are you ready to get rid of everything that doesn't serve you any purpose no more? Are you ready to stand up in your own, in who you are? Are you ready to surrender your false desires for a lifelong, journey to eternity? That's pretty much what it is. Like you're sacrificing everything your human body wants for something that is going to live longer than after you die. You know what I mean? That's
exactly, because that could be called legacy. And the genes, we'll talk about medical stuff more because I got the medical field background. It's very interesting because I don't know nothing, and some people don't know even that. Socrates. Yeah. The thing is that all I knew is don't work for me anymore, because the new things that coming into my life, they giving me some happiness, and every day I'm still consistent. And I will be for life consistent, because I just can't live another way. There is no other way for me. You'll get there. You'll understand what I'm talking about, definitely. And when you're consistent, you're receiving the right dopamine. Mm-hmm. You know what you need to do.
You're aligned with...
And yes, you're aligning with yourself. You know the purpose. And you're like, okay, now what I'm supposed to do? I can do this. I can do that. People want this. I think that this idea will work. And this is a God work. You're gonna be blessed. This is what Jesus Christ teaches Paul. He's leaving the evening. This is what he said to him. Look at the sky. You see those birds. Are they thinking about how they're gonna feed them? God provides. This is the idea. Take care of people surrounding you, about neighbor, about your relatives. Care about them with purity of your heart.
You love your
and
neighbor.
you will be blessed. Don't be greedy. Don't be mean, because it's not bringing you anywhere. Be real. Be yourself. This is what you need to do. This is what you want to be. Bam!
That was well said. I was just staring the whole time. I'm hooked in.
I don't know. And this is the funny thing. This is about my transformation. Mm-hmm. I'm speaking with my spirit. I'm speaking with my spirit. I'm letting it go.
Always.
I'm letting it go, because before I was in fear. What if this? What if that? To be honest with you, the fear proves that this is what I need to do. Because Satan is always here, the same way as a God. It's always a fight, like spiritual fight in your head, and only one man can destroy everything. Just here.
Yeah. And if someone told me yesterday, if you're able to maintain this thought in the back of your head whenever you're in your darkest times, that like even if you're getting attacked by the devil, he can't touch you in your relationship with Jesus, like or Jesus Christ or God, whatever you want to consider it. I'm gonna say Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. But a lot of people think that like it's like a battle between God and devil. You know what I mean? It's not. The war has already been beaten. Everything else right now is just learning how to align yourself to get onto your purpose, onto your calling, into the kingdom of God. And I think this is why us wanting to spread this message to everybody is because we understand how it is to not have peace, and we know that we must have peace within ourselves.
Yeah, be in balance.
You have to be balanced. You have to be happy with yourself. You have to be aligned with the things you're doing. You have to be improving. I'm a personal trainer. When I talk to clients and stuff like that, I say, hey, you're building up your dopamine, you're making your own momentum, right? So
that's good,
right? Because motivation is temporary, right? So for you to continue the discipline, you need to day in, day out. Now, the more days you stack up, that's momentum. And then that's going to create into a habit. And then the habit's just going to be...
Yeah, I know. It's about consistency. This is how you build your good habits. Just, as I said, put down what you want to bring, but not forget about the habits you already have. Change the habits. You need to implement as much as possible good stuff towards your body, towards your mental part, towards your feelings.
And stop pouring into other people's cups. Pour into your own. That's one thing. One thing I was doing for a long time. I was giving 100% to everybody else.
Lucky. Focus on yourself, because you don't really want to know what's happening in there, because you're doing all your own stuff. We live the same life, but the levels we are all in, they different, and they can be very different. And there is no difference between the ages.
Nope.
No, this is a spirit.
It's when you awaken, when your conscious awakens.
Exactly, because it's all started 1914s. It's all started there, the Great Depression. Look, our parents, the parents of our parents, how they lived, how they've been trying to sustain. They've not been concentrated on the spiritual stuff, right? They've been concentrated on the things to feed their family, to do this and that, material. And right now...
And they can still be good people, but do they have peace?
Yeah.
They don't have peace.
And this is what we need, all of us need to seek. We need peace. And this is the time for peace to come to everybody life, because we suffer it that much. We've been so depressed, all of us. And it's and it's funny thing that exactly in those times we going through all of this. Exactly in those times I've been born. That's what my own puzzle in my head. It's like, it's done. It's completed. I see why I'm here. I see what is gonna happen. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Because in the book of Revelation it says that we're gonna enter the 1,000-year kingdom. It will be different. It will be different. But we already on a state where a lot of people like me, you, and you, my friend, that questioning, that want to change their own perspective of life, to live better, to live in peace, to live happy. You're seeking that, I know for sure. And it's good. You just need to change habits, start doing something for yourself, and then you will see patterns. You will see feelings of other people. You will understand better what's happening around. God bless. What I can say, God bless.
God bless. Yeah. If I was, I guess, leave off a message now, in a sense of, if I was talking to my peers, people in my position right now, either if they're in the same similar shoes or they're the same age, whatever the case might be, I would say the best things that I've done for myself that I recommend you start doing now is stop comparing yourself, first of all. Like, genuinely stop comparing yourself to anybody else, okay? And also stop idolizing the wrong people, because the people that you see, or you only see a version of them that they
says build no idols. Build no idols. And the most important thing, that we still have idols.
Unfortunately.
Even though, you know what I'm talking about? Even though he never wanted himself to be an idol. He was against that. But we made that. We concentrated on things like that. That's why I can't tell that I'm religious. Because religions nowadays, they made to manipulate.
Corrupted, it's like...
Exactly. You've seen that Drewski made a funny video with him. You've seen that?
The Mega Masters?
Yeah.
You just seen like the white face he did with
Erica Kurt? That's crazy,
yeah,
bro.
crazy.
That's crazy. Listen, when I see those people, it's like something in me, like my instinct says something's wrong. Something is very wrong. Yeah. And I'm not afraid of them at all, because I know that they're weak in spirit.
Listen, the devil, like me personally, I've said this recently, like I'm not bullshitting. I personally said that, like, the devil can take away my family, can take away, he could, like, I've been stripped down already a couple of things, but if, as I grow older, things will also continue to disappear. And he could strip me with all of that stuff, but I will refuse to allow myself to be in the hands of, the devil. You know what I mean? I will always choose
being on the light side.
Being in the light. You know what I mean? So, like you're saying, these people that you see and you can tell they're bad, like, we're not afraid of them. Like, these topics that we're talking about, world issues, like, I personally talk about all the time with people. It's uncomfortable for people to talk about because they're afraid. But like this is something that like
It's very right things. Listen, it's very right things, and
there's a price that's going to be heavily paid.
yes,
You know?
but it's not about money.
Nope, not about money.
It's not about money at all, because we all paying the price for the transformation. There is no bad days. The all days are days of lessons. This is made for us to make right decisions, as I said. And in the end of the day, even though, look at Nicki Minaj. You've seen her posts?
No,
she's on the light side now.
Lights?
She's on the light side now. They still, I'm praying for everyone, because everybody should have a chance to make a change, because it's every day judgment day. You want to live by flesh or you want to live by spirit. One more time I will say that. And remember that, like, tattoo it to your brain.
And I can personally tell you, me personally, I really don't like my flesh. As much as I genuinely don't. I have yelled at myself. I have cried. I've yelled at myself. Like, I don't like the flesh I have. But there is a reason I have these battles. There's a reason why I'm aware of like the weaknesses in myself. Because if I can now control it and align myself with the right intent,
it will bring you to a different state.
Bring me to peace.
Yeah.
Do we sometimes still mess up? Of course. But the thing is, it's not about that. All he wants is your heart. That's all he wants, right? Your heart. So as long as you keep that pure, like, say keep it pure. And I mean, don't take advantage. I'm not saying don't be manipulated, but as long as you have the heart to want better, to be pure, and want the best for others and yourself, not letting the darkness change you to such a way, you can easily have access to him as much as he, you know what I mean?
It's like
reciprocated.
The universe don't care about money. Universe cares about your balance.
Who are you without the money? Think about it right now. If you were to ask yourself, like, let's check your bank account. Like, who are you without it right now? If you had no access to that money right now, who are you?
I'm stoic. Stoicism. Yeah, the stoicism is really good, by the way. Yeah. And there was a guy, Hermes Trismegistus.
Yeah, I love stoicism.
And he was one to make philosophy way called Hermeticism. So if you look into it, you will understand that it's really close to metaphysics, and it's really close to certain book. But what I see now, they using that knowledge in a way to manipulate, right? And pretty much this world work pretty easy. You just need to be a good person to others. You just need to be aware. You just need to care as much as possible from your side and spread love. In other way, you don't want to do that. You're tired of it. I know. Everybody's tired of it. Fuck that shit.
Amen. Amen to that.
Yeah, sorry, I'm cursing, but I'm not putting that meanings to
No, you don't apologize for cursing.
No.
Don't apologize for cursing.
No, it's like a lot of people, because I'm already receiving in the comments why I'm cursing that much on Russian.
Me too.
I like to curse because I express myself better
You're
while
able
I'm cursing.
You're able to emphasize the problem.
Yes, with a curse you can just make it more colorful.
Yeah.
That's it. It shows so
more emotion.
Look at me.
My father personally, he's like, stop cursing. But like, I was watching this or it was a sermon or something in a sense, but like, don't hate on the person of the drug dealer, prostitute who's going to church, right? Don't hate on the drug dealer going to church. Don't hate on the guy who's cursing, going to church. Because even though they're still imperfect, they're still seeking to be better. They're seeking peace. So whether or not like someone's cursing, whether or not someone's still battling forth with their flesh, but they're still wanting to be in the light, don't ever knock that person down because I bet we see.
It's written in the Bible. It says that don't look at others, don't compare yourself. It's what one person can do to keep that balance. You can, because main idea, you can do whatever needed from you or needed for you to keep the balance, because you as a man manifest, you make it happen, you change the reality. You need to be pure, you need to do the right things, you need to keep your karma clean and say the right things. Don't think about the stuff happening around, concentrate on what you are, who you are, why, and bring that to people, bring the things you really want to bring.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess I could say lastly is probably whatever, we were talking about this off camera, but whatever problems you have, you know, right now, or whatever darkness carrying or going through, if you want to do the exact, no, where am I going with that? You know what I'm saying? Like we were talking about exact opposite, right? Do the exact opposite of the things that like the reason why you go through the things that you go through is either by your choice or by not of your choice. That's something that you need to go through.
Your wishes as well, because try to track if you wished something like that. Because so my wishes sometimes they happening. So think positive way, because there is no other way. To be honest with you, it will be stagnation. You don't need that.
Every time.
Evolve, brother, evolve.
That's funny you said that. My philosophy I carry, at least I hold to myself, is if I don't evolve every 6 months, then I'm not doing something right.
Yes.
I don't know why I say that, but like it's just like something where it's like constant evolution, you know? I would never tell anyone or lie or say I've had a hard life or anything. I would always say I've went through hard things. As much as I didn't want to go through that, as I got older, I appreciated that more.
Yes.
You know, I appreciated those bads and the goods.
Exactly, and it won't be like that forever. To sum up, it won't be like that forever. Everything passes. Good things and the bad things. Everything passes.
But your responsibility right now, I would say, yeah, your responsibility right now is to definitely seek God first, seek yourself, and just prioritize yourself, right? Don't make it to what the world makes it all the religion. Just make it about you, right? Make it about yourself, aligning yourself with the things that make you better and make you be a great person to your friendships, your relationships, your family. And then align yourself with God, and He's going to allow you to pour what you actually want to pour into others the right way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the same thing that I'm talking about.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. First episode done, eh?
Yeah.